put this thing together as a fundraiser for Norman's campaign, because I believe that he is a very qualified and excellent candidate to run for mayor of the city.
Here's to Norman.
So I met Norman at the Solstice Parade here in Seattle, and he just instantly won me over with his charisma and his desire to meet people here in the city of Seattle. He's strong on the issues, on transportation, education, the economy, but more importantly, he's just a people person, and he cares what we think, which is what I want in a representative.
Sweet, we hope to put it on today.
So right now, I'll just talk a little bit about one of my platform issues while we have some time. I have three platform issues that are the reasons why I'm running for mayor of Seattle: transportation, education, and the economy. And to piggyback on the second song that Timmy did, A Child, I think that's our biggest concern right now in terms of education. We need an educated population, especially out of our public school system, that works, that we can be proud of as adults. Seattle has the most literate, or one of the most literate adult populations in the U.S., and our public school system produce product that's mediocre at best. Yes, there's some great talent that comes out of our Seattle public schools, but there's some not so great outcomes. So we need to focus as a community. We need to come together to solve this problem. We're not going to be able to do it by relying on Superintendent Gillo Johnson, or relying on the Alliance for Education, or communities in school, or the mayor, the current administration that really doesn't address this problem. We as a community have to come together to decide how we want our product of education to look like going forward. And I think because we have a lot of talent, we have a lot of smart people in this community, it's a no-brainer that we should have a lot of smart people coming out of our public schools. So what I intend to do is convene partnerships throughout. The mayor doesn't have control of what goes on inside the school system, but he or she can advocate for the schools, and we have to advocate for the community to have high expectations of the outcomes that come out of the Seattle public schools. So I'll partner with schools. I don't want to see schools close. We should open more schools. One of my suggestions in terms of instead of closing schools would be sell the building, because I know that's where a lot of the costs are, and that's where the decisions are made at that cost line level. So why not sell that building to the community, the neighborhood, so they can use that building, but also have the school system lease part of that building back to educate those kids that are in that community. So the kids don't have to move just because we have to close the school. That way it's a win-win. The costs are off the balance sheet for the school system, and the kids still retain their local schools. And the space that's available, we can offer it to nonprofits that have kid-specific missions, so they can have access to the kids that they're hoping to serve, and also rents that are more affordable, so they don't need to go out and have market rate rents out there. Another thing I would do is just bring all the stakeholders together to come with ideas and suggestions. Right now, with the budget shortfall and cutting of teachers, closing some schools, we need to figure out what impact that currently has on the kids that are going to be involved, the kids who know their teachers are not coming back, or the teachers they thought they would have are not coming back because of the layoff. How does this impact them? And so what I would do is convene an emergency, if I were mayor right now, emergency symposium to come together to see how we're going to bridge this 2-year gap of funding for the Seattle Public Schools. Trust me, it's inefficient spending right now, how we spend dollars in our Seattle Public Schools. 60% of every dollar goes into the classroom. That should be 85, 90% of every dollar goes into educating kids.
Amen.
So that's one of the things I want to do, education, transportation, and the economy. I'll talk about more about all of them throughout the night, and then I'll give you a nice little speech in the middle of it as well. So hope you're guys having fun. There are some more drinks, temporary waiters. And if you're hungry, you can order food from Tudabella, they'll deliver it over here, or I think they have delivery of a bunch of different restaurants around that will deliver here as well. So we'll be back in touch.